Hey guys, we're live. I hope this works. I hope it is working. I don't have internet yet. I seem to be coasting on fumes. Somehow able to go live. Um, it's not 100% true that I don't have internet. I don't have my regular source of internet. I don't have it on my desktop, nor is it regularly available in the house. But I can access the internet by phone. Um, I guess it's a hotspot of sorts. I don't know. I don't know how any of that works. But I got a technician coming somewhere between 2 and 4, which all things considered, it's not a bad window of opportunity because, we've had appointments, everyone's had appointments where um, they'll say, we'll be there between 6 in the morning and 9 o'clock at night, and you're stuck at home. And then they call you at 6:15 and say, oh, we're not going to make it today. I think everyone's had some type of experience like that. I do like doing live streams here at my desk with my Google machine in front of me, as it's always nice to have, um, if I'm quoting something or I'm looking up the accuracy of something that I want to quote, or, just to read something. It's always fun. And I like doing it. I think it sort of adds to the live stream. So, um, Flower says, oh, and hi, I'm here 28 minutes early. I did put 12:55, right? I think. I'm glad though that you're here because that means that I've been able to connect with the internet. I'll only be able to talk for about an hour, as that's what time the technician, the window. I'm also going to see if I can sneak in um, meditation period between ending this live stream and before the technician gets here. And I really hope the technician doesn't take long. So let's get down to really important matters here. And that is, how was the first day of Waterfest, Flower? This is a big occasion. I think one of the first conversations that we had when you came here was talking about your country's Waterfest. And that was, what, maybe 2 months ago? So definitely want to hear about it. I have an assortment of books in front of me. Since I can't Google, um, I thought I'd talk a little bit about books. Let's see. Oh, also, a great conversation last night. Uh, Duncan Walsh and Destiny, Eric Lapointe, Squirrel Sniper, UK Medic was here, Goldie was here. And one of the things that we talked about was possibility of doing like meditation, one-on-one meditations sessions with people. And I would definitely be open to that if anyone would like to meditate or talk meditation or learn meditation. Just let me know and we'll work on that. And our friend Goldie's here. Hi there, lovely people. Hello, my friend. How are you? I was talking about my internet woes. That the main internet is down here in my house. I got a technician coming sometime between 2 o'clock and 4. I don't know how I'm connecting right now. It's definitely beyond my technical expertise. Goldie says that she's good at work. Hope it's a good day at work. today in what used to be Burmese. Um, what is I forget the minor? What is it now? It's the Water Festival. And our friend Flower had her very first day at Water Festival. So I'm waiting to see how she enjoyed that. Some of the things, again, some of the things that we talked about a bit last night was doing those individual live chat sessions. I don't know how that works, how you do something individual on YouTube with someone. It might have to be something that when you open that first um, level, when you get those 3,000 watch hours, that you can do stuff like that. I don't know. It's all a big mystery to me how it opens up. I am slowly working my way towards that first goalpost, 3,000, and then it's going to be an all-out sprint to get 4,000, and then we'll see what happens. I've been told, hey, don't expect much when you get it. That most people just make a tiny bit of money, and honestly speaking, I only need a tiny bit of money. I don't need a fortune, and nor do I want. Uh, I don't want to be in another tax bracket. I don't want to add complications to my life. I just want to pay my taxes. That's the big thing, and have enough money to buy some food and an occasional book once a month. Buy myself a nice book. I'm actually going to reinvest in a book I read in it might have been 1989, it might have been 1990. It was recommended by a friend of mine who was a photographer, Zen and the Martial Arts, because he said, hey, you're interested in Zen and you practice martial arts. And it was recommended to him, not for archery, not for martial arts, but for photography, to approach your photography skills in the same manner as if you were a Zen archer drawing a bow. And since I'm doing the YouTube shorts, I'm using a little tiny handheld. I thought, what a perfect opportunity to revisit that and enter that skill in there. Goldie says, Eric, you can do it if you make a video and post it as private and send the link to the person that you want to have in a session. Okay. I think that makes sense. I know how to mark something as private. But we'll figure that out. I'm going to see if anyone's, even interested in that. It was first brought to my attention. Duncan Walsh suggested it, and then Destiny had some suggestions as well. All good. Always appreciate hearing different ideas. But again, I was told just because you monetize doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean that you make money. It means that you have the capability of making money. And that it probably won't make much difference for me being a small channel and doing the stuff that I do. I don't have any big attention grabbing stuff out there. The main thing, the burpee sessions are for fun. It's because I'm part of the burpee home fitness community, but I almost view it as a little separate. For me, it's the nature shorts and the live stream. I absolutely love doing both. I love coming here and just talking about anything at all. And especially, obviously the things that I have an interest in. I love talking about yoga, yogic philosophy, Buddhist philosophy, all kinds of philosophy. I'm not a philosopher. I was never a philosopher major, so complete just what I've read. And I actually didn't even take a philosophy class in community college. I should have. Uh, Psychology, self-awareness, awareness, all kinds of religions. We'll talk about anything. Gordy says, I believe it also works with lives. My church streams Sunday services that way. Interesting. Isn't it amazing how churches have been able to add in that type of technology to reach more people, especially in light of, COVID and the shutdown, when we couldn't have those larger gatherings. But we still found a way to connect, be connected, and stay connected. You know what? I think the post-COVID lesson really is we've reached that connection. Let's keep that connection. I don't mean always doing stuff online, but that heartfelt connection, when we knew how important it was to stay in contact, to have that spiritual base, no matter what your spiritual base might be. We know it's important. And yoga and Buddhism, the Sangha, which is the spiritual community, the actual church where Mass is held for Christianity, those are important connections to have. Spiritual connections, a spiritual family. And it seems that, when COVID lifted and when things opened up, people were just in a rush to get busy again. When we had that moment of everything being close together, we should have maybe cherished that, kept it in our hearts. I'm not saying not getting back to our lives. Of course, we had to and we wanted to. But have that little sacredness with us all the time. Gordy says, I did in high school, wasn't a fan. I liked philosophy. I like talking about philosophy. But also, when you think, what difference did it really make? Immanuel Kant or any of them. Camus. I like reading Camus. But the average person, life is still the same. I'm just not sure devoting too much to philosophy. I think, delving into spiritual matters is a means of revealing who we are and living a more meaningful and happier life, which is no small thing, and especially in this day and age, when we can often feel alone and alienated. Our friend Destiny is here. Happy Friday and blessings, Eric. How are you today? I'm doing pretty well. I was mentioning my internet is still off. I got a technician coming between 2 and 4. So I figured I'll talk for an hour and then I'll wait for the technician. And then hopefully everything will be back up in order. And I'll come back tonight. How are you, Destiny? Gordy says, yes, I forgot the lessons we learned. Exactly. Everything, we had to get busy again. We had to hop on a plane and go places. We had to, go to games. And again, none of that is bad. But it just like everything was dropped. All that deep community that we managed to get together, knowing that we had to take care of each other. That was the big lesson of COVID, in my opinion, my thoughts, is we all need to take care of each other. Which reminds me of the famous line from Ram Dass when he was asked about spirituality. Why are we here? And he said, we're all just walking each other home. Absolutely love that. We're all just walking each other home. And we can think of that. To me, that statement seems to have close ties to Christianity, although Ram Dass was born and raised Jewish and became not Hindu, but a yogi, yogic philosophy. But walking each other home, just it seems a very Christ-like thing to say. It seems like something that Jesus would say: walk each other home, walk each other to the kingdom, because you're not going separately. When Jesus forgave from the cross, he didn't point. He didn't say, I'll forgive you, you, not you, not you. He forgave every single one. And we don't have that luxury either to be selective. We were told explicitly from every major religion, love one another. And sometimes it seems we do a poor job of that. Not we, as in us, but in general, humanity in general. Destiny says, happy Friday to Flower. I'm going to mention again that Flower has the big water festival starting today. It's a big thing in her country. Destiny says, okay, Eric, so your internet was down last night, posted yesterday, and you were able to screen the entire live. Will you fix your internet? Will your internet service be fixed today? Yes, hopefully. I got a technician coming between 2 and 4. I don't have any idea how I'm able to still be live. Other than the universe is cooperating with my need to connect with my friends. The universe is saying, Eric, you need community. Which I do. Because I'm, by nature, I'm solitary. And I enjoy it. And sometimes I'm actually afraid that I'll start sinking deeper and deeper and deeper into it, which is a real little bit of a threat. If it's not for Milka and our dog Misty coming over, my 2 cats, and even though I share a house with my brother, we go back and forth, different hours. I'm up at 2:30 in the morning. I'm in bed by 7, usually. And he works from 2 in the afternoon till 11:30 at night, 2:30. So, we see each other in passing, and we're friendly. But I can still be almost completely by myself, even with him here. Destiny says, Eric, I'm doing absolutely great. That's good. I'm happy to hear that. I did manage to, when I got online with my phone, one of the first things I did was check out Destiny's video on the treadmill. Goldie says, yes, he forgave everyone. And such an important lesson from the cross. Because, if anyone had reason to hold a grudge, if anyone had power to punish, it would have been Jesus. It was Jesus. And yet, he neither punished, sought punishment, or judged those who performed the violence against him. How amazing is that? And you know what? We rightly praise Jesus and place him on the highest level possible. But we always forget also that Jesus urges us to do as he did, to love, to forgive, to not cast judgment. And yet, it's not that we fail. Because you know what? Everyone's allowed to fail. What gets me is that it seems we, and I'm using that collective we, and there's always exceptions, thank God for the exceptions because they're great examples of what we can do, is that we don't try. In this day and age, do you think collectively, and I'd love to hear everyone's opinion, do you think collectively that we are trying to um, live in the light of Jesus, that we're walking that path? And if you're not Christian, are you walking the Buddhist path? Are you walking the yogic path? Yogic has a firm foundation in ethical concerns. This is what you do. If you want to practice yoga, you don't have to stretch. You don't even have to meditate, but you do have to practice those ethical concerns. There's 10 of them. There's 5 what they call ethical restraints and 5 ethical observances that we do. Flower says, Hoi. I think that's what how you pronounce that. Flower, how is the water festival? It is what it is. Lewis, good morning, Eric. Good morning, Lewis. Did you work out early today, or are you doing it soon? I know yesterday was unusually early for you. Was it yesterday or was it the day before? Destiny says the universe loves gratitude, Eric. You give a lot of that to people and other things, so the universe is paying you back by favoring you with the internet service to carry on your live assignments. I love that way of thinking. Thank you, Destiny. Which reminds me, I got this stack of books here that I keep meaning just to talk about on occasion, and I've been holding this up. The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, which I read in 1993, and that firmly set me on the path of yoga. I had always been interested. I had practiced, and then I'd go a long time without practicing. In the early 90s, I was drinking more and more. I was in some relationships that weren't serving me, and I wasn't serving them. I don't want to make it sound like, I was this perfect guy in a relationship, but the relationships weren't working. It was my fault entirely because I was drinking, I was hanging out in bars. So I was looking to turn my life around, sort of half-heartedly, when I read this book, thinking that it would help me in my career. 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. 2 birds in one stone. My spiritual interest, curiosity peaked, and hey, I get to be a financial success. People will look up to me. But it's absolutely nothing about that, although it will help you in that regard. It is basically a Vedic yogic handbook, 7 spiritual laws. And one of them is the law of giving and receiving. That you need to, in order to feel and be abundant, you need to put stuff out into the universe. You need to practice love. You need to practice gratitude, giving and receiving. Sometimes we focus on one too much over the other. Sometimes we're all about giving, and we don't realize we're also supposed to receive. You can keep giving love. It's okay to get love back. Be love. In order to be love, you give it and you receive it. Or we don't give enough. We start thinking we hoard, which is one of the 5 ethical restraints, non-hoarding in yoga. And when we hoard, we start thinking in terms of, I'll start giving money back when I make money. I'll start giving love back when I'm in a loving relationship. I need to be loved before I can give it away. Almost across the board, every spiritual tradition, give and you shall receive. It's never the other way around. You never hear receive and then give. So thank you, Destiny, for reminding me the law of giving and receiving. It was something I wanted to talk about, as well as always, your kind words. Destiny says, hello and blessings to you, my dear friend Louis. Um, you're ready for the Holy Grail tomorrow. It's a big day. We got the water festival for our friend Flower, and we have the Holy Grail. For those who might not realize it, the Holy Grail in Burpee Land, in Burpee Dumb, is 1,000 reps, 1,000 burpees. For those who might not realize it, 1,000 burpees is a lot of burpees. 1,000 anything is a lot of anything. But that's an amazing feat. It's an amazing feat of physical endurance. It's an amazing feat of strength. That's 1,000 push-ups. It's 1,000 squatting down. Lewis does it rocking chair. So you're getting a squat motion, you're getting a forward bend motion, you're getting a push-up, and you're getting an explosive jumping back up. And he does it all seamlessly. Here's the amazing thing, and I can guarantee you this. He's going to get tired. He's going to be borderline exhausted. His last rep will still look very much like his first rep. Because, well, for one, he's in excellent shape, and he worked hard to get back in shape after his layoff and then an accident. Very inspiring story if you guys check out his channel. But as well, because he works form. When he starts off beginning of the year, he doesn't jump back into doing what he used to do. He gets his form down packed, one rep at a time. So that doesn't fail him. The reps don't fail him because it's wired in every aspect, every cell. It's also spiritually wired. When, I don't think Lewis would ever call himself a yogi, but for me, I've mentioned this before, a burpee, full body prayer. I don't think he can do 1,000 burpees without practicing gratefulness. You're grateful to be able to move. You're grateful to be able to breathe. You're grateful to be able to do what you're doing. The sun, the air, the breeze that swings by and cools you down. We were blessed with a body. We were blessed with a mind. We're blessed with intellect. God expects us to use it in a way that serves us, in a way that serves others, in a way that serves God. You tune in tomorrow and watch It Is What It Is, and you'll see basically a celebration of spirit, celebration of body, a celebration of mind, fortitude, gratefulness, celebration of God. So Flower said school did the fest today, but the actual fest is tomorrow, so yay. Yep, this is something that you've been looking forward to since we first started talking. It's a big day. I'm happy that it's here. Destiny said, Lewis said, oh, I'm ready, sister, so help me God. And God certainly is going to help you because, one, you put in the work. Two, the faith that you have. I mean, come on. You're a handle. God above all. Destiny says, I know you are, Lewis. You get up ready every morning. Love your positive energy and strong mindset. Yeah, it's a definite example. Definite example set. This is how to do it. Our friend Thomas is here. Thomas, how are you? I'm just listening today, doing some yard work and getting ready to leave town. Press the grill, Lewis. Oh, he will. This is our opportunity to put out that energy for him right now. It is what it is. Says 1,000 burpees and 1,000 push-ups. Amazing. Destiny says hello and happy Friday, Thomas. How are you? Flower says oof. Oof sums it up. Oof sums it up perfectly. Hey, Lewis, when you've done your thousandths, your last rep, 1,000, look in the camera and just say oof, and that'll sum up. That'll sum up 1,000 reps. Flower says oof. Good luck, mate. Lewis says appreciate you, Eric. Definitely, definitely in your corner. And it is what it is. Says appreciate you, Flower. And hello to Thomas. And speaking of burpees, we have Thomas back in the mix, getting in the reps, putting in 100 reps. Thomas has a pretty clean rocking chair as well. Perfect description from Thomas. It is a prostration. Exactly. Prostration is such a wonderful example, and it's a wonderful practice as well. It's the practice of surrendering, prostrating down, touching earth, lifted to heaven, surrounded by air. Lewis says, you guys are pumping me up. That's what we're here for. That's what it's all about. Flower says, are we posting more about the fest right now? I'm working on editing a vid. That's awesome. Really excited. I hope you guys are or will be subscribed to Flower. Is it going to be on this channel that you use here, the Flower channel, or one of the others? If you guys definitely subscribe to Hello Flower. She hasn't put out any content yet, so this will the Waterfest will be her first jump in to doing so, and she's already ahead of me because she is working on a video and she's editing. I've never edited a single thing in my life. I don't even edit the things that I write every morning. So she's diving in and she's doing it right. I dive in because I'm always enthusiastic about the stuff that I want to do, but I hardly ever prepare for anything. I did my first 50K I signed up for it in the end of May, and the race was at the end of August. I looked for training service that might give me a plan, and they said, I don't think you can do it. I don't think you can do 50K, because the most I had run in my training, I was training for kettlebell sport, and I would run 20 minutes after my workout. Once a week, I would do 2, maybe 3 miles. 50K is 31 miles. And he said, I don't think you can do it in that short of time. I think you're kind of crazy for trying. However, if you go ahead and pay me, I'll write out a program for you. And I thought, if you don't believe I can do it, what's the sense of me getting a program from you? Because if I'm going to fail, I can fail on my own and save some money. And I'm not cheap, but I want somebody who says it's going to be hard, it's going to be tough, but if you do this, you can finish. And I would have paid him whatever he wanted for something like that. So I just started running more. I did it smart, I read everything I could about ultra running, and there wasn't a whole lot at that time. This was in 2009. still a relatively not new but obscure sport. And I did pretty well. I did it in 5 hours. It was a tough course. I was stung 9 times by bees. Um, Fingers and my toes and my face swelled up from the bee bites, bee stings. It was ground bees, and they're relentless. So you get stung by the same bee over and over again until you remove it. Um, and I got sunburned and a little dehydrated, and I was hooked. I knew that was my sport, and it was for the next 11 years, racing at least a 50K a month for that entire time. And you know what? I'm not in ultra running shape right now. I'm in better burpee shape, but I would rather go out and run a 50K tomorrow than do 1,000 burpees. That's how difficult. That's how difficult the feat is that Lewis is going to do. And as difficult as it is, he's going to sail through it. He's going to sail through it mentally because that's what he does. And the entire time he'll be intense but relaxed. I've mentioned that to him every time we talk about burpee reps. I mention that to him. To me, that's his super strength. Intense but relaxed. There's no wasted motion. There's no wasted emotion. Doesn't get upset. He doesn't get, he said, you guys are pumping me up. Here's the thing, when you see him, it's like watching Tyson go into the ring, or Roberto Duran. There's no showboating, no dancing around. Game face. I'm here to do 1,000 reps. And he does 1,000 reps. Not a piece of cake, but he'll make it look like a piece of cake. Hey, our friend Michael Robinson is here. It is what it is, says, I remember that. Oof. I really think oof sums up everything perfectly. I'm really happy that Flower said that. Michael, how are you doing? Michael says, I'm here, but the power going out here and there. Sorry to hear that. Destiny saying hello to Michael Robinson. And Michael says, WSG. I'm not sure what WSG stands for, Michael. Any lingo that came out after 1986, I'm going to be unfamiliar with. Destiny says, I have to look you up tomorrow for your fest. Flower says, I will be posting here. And thanks, Destiny. But we have a different timeline. Destiny says, Lewis, keep me updated on your Holy Grail tomorrow so I can partially monitor your live stream chat. Flower is saying hello to Michael with every single exclamation point available. Michael, Flower has been asking about you. She was very concerned when she heard that you were in an accident. Flower says, you took so long to come back, mate. He's been in and out, but you guys just haven't been here at the same time. Chester. I had a friend named Chester, but we called him Chet. Says, hello, baby girl. How are you? Well, I'm flattered. I haven't been called baby girl since, well, actually never. Let's see, Destiny says, I will be looking for your posts about your fest. Thanks. And Flower says, thanks. Thomas said, coal fire. Exactly, like diamonds. That's Lewis. Oh, and Flower translates for me. Man, it's what I love about the younger generation. WSG means what's good. So what's the S? Well, okay, I see it. And you know what? I'm going to go biblical on everyone. When you ask me what's good, and I always um, I love any excuse to talk about, well, I love any excuse to talk, uh, any excuse to bring up Genesis from the Bible, right before God took the day off, created the entire universe, and declared everything he made was good. So who am I to cast judgment on creation itself? That because something enters my life, a difficulty, grief, sorrow, sadness, suffering, for me to say, well, that's not good. Two, quote our friend, it is what it is. It is what it is. To quote our friend William Shakespeare, nothing is good nor bad, lest thinking makes it so. Or as my friend Scylla Bob Adamson said, um, what's wrong with right now if you don't think about it? It's all based on thoughts. Doesn't mean bad things don't happen. Doesn't mean that we don't experience grief and sorrow and suffering. Um, but it happens and it serves. We use that energy. The entire practice of tantric Buddhism, Tantra in general, we think Tantra and we think, um, sexual practices. But Tantra is simply taking a lower based energy and rising it up, transforming it. It's almost, we can think of it as a form of alchemy, where the alchemists of old would try to transform lead into gold, which is just a metaphor. Taking the lead of experiences, the lead of pain, the lead of sorrow and grief, all those things, transforming it. Or as I mentioned the book before, The Handbook to Higher Consciousness by Ken Keyes, elevate your demands. I demand to feel better. I demand to not feel sad. I demand not to experience grief, and elevate them to a preference. I would prefer not to be in pain. I would prefer not to have sorrow, because we can deal with preferences. Demands just add to the sorrow. Demands are how we go from experiencing sorrow to experiencing suffering. That's the subtle difference. Destiny says, Thomas, enjoy your trip out of town and be safe. Yes, definitely be safe and have a peaceful trip, whatever it is that you'll be doing. Flower says, any other slang you don't know, Eric? I can translate. I appreciate that. And I'm sure it'll come in. I'm sure someone will definitely bring a new form of slang into the conversation. And Flower, also, I forgot to say this, but don't forget to like Beautiful Souls. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I forget to say it too. So, highly, highly recommend 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. We've been talking, our friend Chris K, our new friend Chris K, came in maybe a week or so ago. Very sad, very experienced a heavy grief after a year. It was a year past his daughter's death. And then we had some other people who had talked about that as well. And then had a very deep and meaningful conversation with Flower about experiencing the loss of my parents at different times. So that caused me to dig out my copy of the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying. For decades, it was always translated as the Tibetan Book of the Dead, has kind of a spooky title. It's about dead, but technically, it is the Tibetan Book of Living and Dying, because living is simply the flip side of dying. Dying is simply the flip side of living. It's an experience within an experience within an experience. And that sums up life. We live, we'll experience death. We experience death because we live. Hey, we were just talking about you. I was just talking about you, Chris K. And Flower says, do YK, YBU. You know what? I was going to say, let me try to figure that out, but I'm already lost. Oh, you know. Okay, right? Do you know? I think the second one's going to lose me. Chris, how are you? Chris says, I came just to say hi to you. I appreciate that, my friend. Always appreciate you stopping in. And it has to go now. I will be with you next time. Thank you. And I'll be coming live again a little bit after 5, I think. I hope. As long as the internet forces keep supplying me the juice. And Destiny says, Eric, did you write the book, The 7 Spiritual Laws? No, this book is by Deepak Chopra. It's actually signed by Deepak to Eric and Mocha. And he spelled Mocha right. It's a big thing for her, as it should be. We went to hear him talk, and as a matter of fact, our first time ever going anywhere on a trip together was to go hear Deepak Chopra in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Scranton's a beautiful town, by the way. And I learned 1998 how to do primordial sound meditation, which is Vedic meditation, mind-based meditation based upon vibrations, brought back from India by Deepak Chopra. He left the Transcendental Meditation movement. He was high up there. Some considered him the heir apparent to the Maharishi. But he was unsatisfied with the direction that it was going. They were charging more and more to learn meditation, thousands of dollars. And oddly enough, I wanted to learn it, even though I had been practicing another form of meditation for a while. But I felt called to explore that. Couldn't afford it. And I came across information that Deepak was now teaching primordial sound meditation. So I learned and I practiced for 25 years and decided I'm going to become a teacher. And I did. So now I'm a certified primordial sound meditation teacher as well. Within that tradition, certified to teach the 7 spiritual laws, which are invaluable. Let me, I'll read through them real quick. And Flower says, oh, bye, Chris. And Destiny says, take care, Chris, and enjoy your weekend. Definitely enjoy your weekend, my friend. Our friend Odom is here. Hello, just to Yogi and chat, listening in. Listening in bushes, busy day. I hope you have the weekend off, Odom, and that you're going to have perfect weather to spend in your garden. I know for you that would be the best way to spend your weekend. Destiny says hello and happy Friday, Odom. How are you today? Um, is correct. Hey, I got one right. And the last one is, what about you? I wouldn't have figured that out. Flower says, do you know GR? Is that a W? WM? No. Nope. It was either with a YK because it was only 2. But now we're getting more complicated. Destiny says, I think I have read some of that book years ago. Yeah, great teaching. I probably read it twice a year. Let me go quickly through the seven spiritual laws, and then maybe tonight we'll dive in to one or more of them a little bit more. For those who've heard me talk about yogic psychology and philosophy, you'll, as well as, that deeper dimension of what the Christian mystics have talked about, you'll recognize a lot of it. The first law, and the way he has it set up, you practice one law each day of the week, and you work your way through it. Simply being aware, and he gives you tips. Excuse me. The law of pure potentiality, the law of giving, which I just talked about earlier in the conversation, the law of karma, or cause and effect. We've talked quite a bit about that. The law of least effort, which I love. I only half jokingly say because it pulls to my laziness. But the law of least effort doesn't really mean doing anything half-hearted. It means you do the right amount, because you don't need to do anymore. Anything more is wasted. Least effort means that you are working with the universe, which is what Destiny alluded to at the beginning of the conversation. The law of intention and desire. The universe came to be because of an intention. We could say God had an intention for the universe and created the universe. Anything we want to create in life, from a business to a YouTube channel to 1,000 burpees, is based upon intention. Lewis has the intention of doing 1,000 burpees. He doesn't have a wish. You won't hear it is what it is start off his rep smar and say, man, I really hope I get this. I wish I get this. It would be nice if I get this. Lewis has a clear intention. I'm doing 1,000 reps. So, and it also applies to the law of least effort. He's not going to fight the universe. He's not going to fight the floor. When he goes down in the push-up position, there's no battle there of, I'm going to fight against the ground. Accepts the ground and he springs up. He accepts the air and he keeps moving. Everything's working for the benefit of it is what it is to get 1,000 burpees. Clear intent. That's why he's going to get it. Not even a doubt. The law of, and maybe tonight I'll do the whole 7 laws and I'll tie it into it is what it is, getting 1,000 reps. The law of detachment. Another one of my favorite, one of the most important. Hard to practice. But as you watch tomorrow, Lewis get his 1,000 reps. He's not attached to the first rep. He's already in motion for the second rep. He's not attached to the second rep. Here's another example. Odom. He's not attached to a seed. He's not going to hoard the seed and say, this is the key for me growing a peach tree. He knows he has to plant the seed. That's intent. He knows he has to water the seed. He has to nourish it. He has to tend it. But he's already detached from the seed because it's going to grow into tree. He's not attached to the fruit because he's going to pick it. And the tree isn't attached to the fruit. The tree surrenders its fruit because that's how more seeds are produced and more trees come to be. Law of detachment. And finally, the law of Dharma, or purpose in life. I absolutely love Dharma. It can be translated loosely as our path in life or purpose in life, but everything is Dharma. This is why I pick up earthworms after a storm and put them back in the grass when it's safe, not when it's still too wet. Because every life has a Dharma that needs to be respected. It's not for me to end it. It's not for me to step on an ant. It's not for me to step on a worm. It's not for me to eat meat. Because every animal has a Dharma, and every person has a Dharma, whatever that might be. Part of discovering it in this book is opening yourself up through meditation. What's your Dharma? Lewis's Dharma? Not just 1,000 reps, but showing people, hey, and you'll even hear him say it, I'm not special, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. But you got to train for it. You got to do it right. As well, Destiny's Dharma, spreading joy. Odam's Dharma, being in the garden. We all have one. So, guys, I just got a text message that my Verizon Tech is on his way. Going to be here hopefully any minute. So that's a good sign that I should have proper internet service and not relying on the universal flow of internet in the ethers, in the air. So thanks, guys. Sorry to end early, especially because I'm really enjoying the conversation with you guys. Let me catch up here real quick. Odom says that that it's good, and yes, off this weekend. A lot to do in the garden. It's that time of year. Goldie still listening. Got flooded at work. I appreciate that you were still listening. Flower says, GRIM is get ready with me. Okay. Speaking a lot, do you know what that means? Speaking of lot, do you know what that means? Okay. All right. Definitely got to go. People are here. So sorry, I will not get to every comment. My friend Brian Lane is here. Hey, Brian. So sorry, guys. Definitely got to run. I'll see you. I'll be back again about 5 o'clock. So stay tuned. Take care, guys.
I'm doing work.
Okay.